All of us are familiar with the Christmas story, and in all of the Christmas pageants, the shepherds always play an important part of it. However, we often tend to overlook their importance, and so it would behoove us to take a closer look at this part of the Christmas story. In the days when Jesus was born, shepherds weren't the lowest class of people, but they weren't far from it. Then why did an angel appear unto them to announce the birth of Jesus? We're told that the shepherds were outside in the field late at night, and we can imagine them sitting close to each other, quietly talking to pass the time. And except for an occasional bleating of a sheep now and then, it must have been extremely quiet when they weren't talking. It was in this setting when, suddenly, an angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. Whenever we read of an angel appearing to someone, they're always described as shining with great brilliance. When this angel suddenly appeared to the shepherds, the light that was emanating from him no doubt lit up the entire area around them. We can only imagine how frightening it must have been to have the darkness suddenly shattered with a light brighter than the sun, and in that light stood a man who literally appeared out of nowhere. No wonder the shepherds were sore afraid. When this angel suddenly appeared, no doubt the shepherds must have been astonished. But then the angel said unto them, Behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. But as amazing as this statement must have been to these shepherds, what he said next was even more incredible. He said, For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. The word Christ is a Greek word, which in Hebrew is translated as Messiah. For more than 1,000 years, the prophets of God had foretold of a time when the Messiah would come among his people and would rule not only among the Jews, but over the entire world. What the angel had just told these humble shepherds was that the Messiah had just been born. I don't think we can fully appreciate what this news meant to these men. You see, to them, this was indeed tidings of great joy, and it did have great significance for all people. But as if this wasn't exciting enough, they were thrilled to learn that he had just been born in the city of David, which is also known as Bethlehem. Since the field where the shepherds laid watch over their sheep was on the outskirts of Bethlehem, we can only imagine how they must have felt when they learned that the Messiah, God's anointed Savior of Israel, was somewhere very close by. But where? The angel answered their question when he told them, And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. If the angel had told these men where to find the Messiah, then surely he wanted them to go see him. And so, after the angels had gone away, the shepherds said to one another, Let us go now even unto Bethlehem, and see this thing which is come to pass, which the Lord hath made known unto us. And they came with haste. When they finally did find the babe, lying in a manger, the Scriptures don't tell us what these humble men said or did as they gazed upon the infant form of their long-awaited Messiah. But eventually, they returned to their fields to continue guarding their precious sheep. But they would never again be the same. When daybreak came, and the other shepherds awoke from their slumber, these nighttime workers excitedly related what they had both seen and heard to anybody who they could find. And they made known abroad that saying which was told to them concerning this child. And all they that heard it wondered at these things which were told to them by the shepherds. Although this is a familiar story that we repeat each year, there are several things we can learn from it and apply in our life. Like the shepherds of old, each of us are shepherds, charged with the responsibility of watching over and protecting the flock of God. And that would include members of our own family, our friends, and even our neighbors, because we are all children of God. Sometimes that can be easy to do, but there can be times when it requires us to sacrifice our time, our energy, and sometimes even our money. When the angel announced the birth of the Messiah, the shepherds left what they were doing and made haste to find Christ. Like the shepherds, we too should want to make haste to accept Christ's invitation to come unto him. Just like it was important to the shepherds to find the babe laying in a manger, so also it should be important to us to seek for and to find Christ. Christmas is about celebrating the birth of our Savior, God's only begotten Son, which is a wonderful and wondrous story in and of itself. But as we take the time to ponder more deeply on its message, we'll find many things that we can apply in our life, including what we can learn from the story of the shepherds.